I never took New Year's resolutions seriously. When people used to ask me what my resolution was, I used to say something, oh, my resolution is to set 0 resolutions. And I did it. Ha! In your face. But what I realized is that the new year is kind of like turning a new leaf, right? It's like jumping into a new chapter. And whenever you jump into a new chapter, things change, right? New things are introduced, dragons are introduced, things happen. Going into that new chapter, a lot of people like to look back and ask themselves, oh, what happened in the last chapter? What went right for me? What went wrong? And it's really important to self-analyze. But one question that we should definitely ask ourselves, especially this year, where do I see myself this time next year? I know, it's a scary question. I could never ask myself any questions about the future because I don't have the answers all the time. Because not only are we asking, what kind of changes we have, but what kind of changes do we want to see? But it's a great way to analyze what you want in life and, what kind of changes you want to see in yourself. And once we realize where we want to see ourselves a year from now, it's easier to set goals. And that's what a resolution is. A New Year's resolution is just a goal that you have for the next year. And that's why, I totally understand when people are excited for the New Year's resolutions. Because it's a chance to change yourself for the better. Except, I'll be honest, I hate setting goals. Because setting goals is very hard. It wasn't until I actually learned from a workshop how to set goals did I think that goals were actually, useful to set. I was like anti-goal for a while. But one common resolution that we see is something like, let's say for example, I'm going to work out more. It's a resolution I'm sure we've had. I've had it like 5 years in a row. Never achieved it once. And there's a reason why. That goal, if you look at it right there, it doesn't tell you much. So how do you make your goals stronger? And that's a really good question because a lot of people don't know how to make their goals stronger. I didn't for the longest time until I actually took a workshop in which I learned how to make goals. And so let me give you some tips. You probably don't need them, but I'm going to give them to you anyways. Step number 1, set realistic goals. The thing is, you know yourself better than anyone else in the world, right? You know the things you're good at, you know the things you're bad at, and you definitely know how lazy you are. For example, someone would tell me, oh, Mateen, you should go to the gym like 5 days a week for 2 hours. I know I'm not gonna do that. I'm not crazy. But what I know I'm gonna do is something like, maybe wake up 30 minutes earlier in the morning and have a very short, tiny workout before I go to work. So instead of setting some grandiose and ridiculously big goal, set something you know you can manage, something you know you can just easily fit inside your life. Step 2, make your goals as specific as possible. Specific. A goal like, I want to work out more, isn't really specific, so it doesn't tell you where you're going, what you're going to do, or whatever. So the more specific your goal is, the easier it is to figure out what you actually have to do and to make it actionable. Like if I were to take that goal, I would change it to something like, every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm going to go to the gym and do some cardio for 45 minutes. So you have your where, you have your when, and you have your, who is obvious, right? It's you. And so now, when you go to the gym, you know what you're doing. You're doing cardio for 45 minutes. When it's during the week, you know exactly what you're doing. You can just jump in and get to work. Step 3, take it one step at a time. So one tip I have is don't set a goal for the whole year, right? Imagine you're signing up for internet and they offer you a 20-year contract. You would be like, this is ridiculous. I'm not signing up for 20 years. Things change in 20 years. And the same goes with your life. Our lives change all the time, right? Our routines change, our habits change, our schedules change even. So if you set a goal for the whole year, things change. And then that goal kind of just falls through the cracks and gets forgotten about. So maybe make it, instead of 1 year, make it 1 month. So for the month of January, you will go to the gym this many times, and then by January 31st, you set another goal for February, and then another goal for March, and another goal for April. And this way you can change your goals depending on how your life has changed. Step 4, write your goals down. Now, writing your goals down doesn't seem like it does much, but it actually does. Because when you write your goals down, it's almost like it's official. It's almost like saying, all right, this is what I'm gonna do, and now it's permanent. Unless you type it on your phone, then you can delete it. But keep it somewhere where you can see it every day. Like, for example, I keep all my monthly goals and everything in this bright orange notebook because I use it every day. You can write it on a whiteboard or on a chalkboard, but write it somewhere that you can see every day because it kind of reminds you of what your goal is. Step number 5, find a friend and set goals together. So one of the things they really emphasized at this workshop was to have a buddy and to help each other and motivate each other. My buddy was my best friend, which you would think is a mistake, but luckily this guy's awesome. And what he would do is he would text me like every 2-3 days and be like, hey Mateen, did you do your goal? And I would say no. And he's like, why not? Go do it now. And he would constantly motivate you. He'd be so annoying. But it was great because it made me actually keep my goals in my mind. And having someone there to kind of motivate you and remind you and inspire you is great. And in turn, you can do the same for them. And hey, if you guys have the same goals, you can work at them together. You can keep each other company and motivate each other. But a buddy helps really motivate you and really push you to achieve your goals. You will hate your buddy, but that's okay. You'll forgive them. And step number 6, and this is the hardest step, make it a habit. The first few days of any goal is always tough, right? Because it's not part of your habit. It's something new, it's something that wears you out, it's something that, is very taxing. But once you make it a habit, once you go through all the work and really continue doing it for at least 40, 50 days, then you have that habit and it becomes a little bit easier to continue your goal. And once you have a habit, it becomes part of your daily routine, and then all of a sudden your goal becomes easier to manage. You dedicate that time towards it and you don't have to worry so much about flaking on your goal. Keep in mind that you don't actually have to wait until New Year's to set a goal. But if you are setting goals, write down the day, the first day that you start your goal. Because it's an important and special day. It's that day where you decided to make a huge change in your life. And that's why people like New Year's, is because it is a special day, right? Everyone remembers January 1st. So whatever day you're setting a goal, write it down maybe in your bright orange notebook and see what happens. Now, it's important to say that our goals will change over time, right? We won't have the same goal 2 months from now because our priorities change. But hey, that's what life's all about, change, right? So if your goals are changing, it's probably a good sign that you're either improving or you're going downhill, one or the other. So the New Year's is a perfect time to change your life because everything's already there for you, New Year's resolutions and all that. All you have to do is set your goals. So if you're setting goals, let me know in the comments below. If you know what goals you're going to set, let me know. I really want to hear what you guys are planning to do in the new year. So have a happy new year, guys. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment on it for sure, and make sure you follow me on my Instagram, and you can also check out my blog in the comment section below, and I hope to see you in the next video. So have a great new year, and I hope you set those goals. Now, what goals am I going to set? Let's see. I don't even know what I'm gonna do.